If you're an accredited investor, I have big news. In the last 12 months, I bought 5 major American brands. I bought Pier 1 Imports, Linens and Things, Dress Barn, Franklin Mint, Models. I'm sure you've heard of one or all of those brands, but more importantly than how this has benefited me, I want to share with you how this might change how you invest your money.
Every so often an opportunity arises that is so big you have to double check just to make sure it's real. And if you're an investor, you've probably been doing your research right now trying to predict what the next big thing is before the masses catch on. Because one thing history teaches us is that those who catch a new trend early are rewarded handsomely. Henry Ford, when he produced his first Model T car, must have thought, wow, why isn't everyone seeing what I see? Steve Jobs, when he created the first personal computer, couldn't believe his college professors doubted him. Elon Musk had that amazing foresight to understand how valuable Tesla would become. So there's good and bad news. The bad news is most investors will never catch one of these aha moments. They're too distracted following the crowd. But the good news is that a global shift of epic proportions has just happened. And what we predict to be 54 new investment opportunities have opened up right in front of our eyes. As the saying goes, there are decades where nothing happens and there are weeks where decades happened. Those weeks of change just happened. If you're an accredited investor, it's time to take action. My name is Ty Lopez and my business partner, Dr. Alex Marin, and I believe that the low-hanging fruit to be invested in is very simple. Buying distressed brands, specifically retail brick and mortar stores. And we mean buying them for pennies on the dollar and revitalizing and transforming them into e-commerce brands. In fact, we predict there will be 54 bankrupt brands to buy in the next 8 months alone. There's a very narrow window to catch this opportunity, so don't be slow. Remember what they say in Vegas, scared money doesn't make money. Alex and I saw this opportunity a while back and have already begun. Maybe you read the USA Today article about us in October 2019 when we purchased Dress Barn for pennies on the dollar, a large female clothing brand that did over $740 million in revenue. We bought it from a publicly traded company and revitalized it by turning it into an e-commerce online brand that makes its sales from websites, not from brick and mortar stores. And remember, the brick and mortar business model was already dying before now. Now the nail has been hammered on the coffin.
So you guys just closed on Models. So when you close on a deal like that, what are your first steps in trying to resurrect a struggling company?
It's a little different. We bought Pier 1 last month for $31 million. Pier 1 already had a much more going concern e-commerce wise. It was already a 9-figure e-com business. Models is different. They've concentrated pretty much on brick and mortar. So out of their $500 million in revenue, it's, sub 10% was actual e-com. And we also bought Linens and Things, Franklin Mint, different brands. You got to take all of these on a case-by-case basis, but no matter what, people are buying online. Jeff Bezos proved the model starting in 1994. What you see now is inevitable.
And you might think, well, maybe there's even better investments than buying distressed brands. For example, a lot of wealth has been created through real estate. But take a look at the top of the Forbes list. You'll notice that not one of the top 50 Forbes list billionaires created their wealth through physical real estate. It was all through owning brand real estate. Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, they all have one thing in common. They own a large amount of shares in global brands. But it's not easy for an individual investor to be able to replicate what these Forbes list billionaires have done, simply because in normal times, you need so much capital to play in the brand space. But the times have changed, my friend, and the prices have dropped. There's a short window where direct investment into brands is now available to accredited investors who have some cash sitting aside. It doesn't even take millions. If you join the proper pool of investors, you can get in for 6 figures. We already have experience, having already acquired a large distressed brand. And more importantly, we have the right investment bank connections that you need to get first access to the deals. A little about our background: for over 19 years, we've been in e-commerce. In fact, We were some of the first entrepreneurs in the world to see the e-commerce potential. Our e-commerce businesses have already generated over $1 billion in revenue. We spent over $600 million on Facebook and Google advertising to build multiple brands. Alex and I are experienced entrepreneurs and investors. I started in 2001 with GE Capital, GE Financial, at the time the largest company in the world. I now have over 10 million social media followers, and over 2 billion minutes of my YouTube business videos have been watched, giving us unique access to investors and deal flow.
So the same strategies I use to grow my social media, we will be using for Modell's and others brands.
My business partner, Dr. Alex Mayer, well, he just sold his company Zeus for $300 million. He even got to ring the New York Stock Exchange bell. But we've put the link below because we believe the opportunity is so large, we need to expand our high net worth accredited investor circle to about 500 investors. So if you have any interest in what we've said, simply click the button below and give us some basic information. You can then decide if you want to set up a phone call to talk directly with us. Remember, we are not pushy, but time is of the essence. So click the link below. Worst case, you're just going to get a free information packet from us. But the best case scenario is that we're about to open up a brand new investment avenue that completely changes the game for you. Click the link below. Talk soon.